Lymphokine activated killer cell in cell mediated immunity. Cell mediated immunity is a special kind of the immune system or the immune response by which the main purpose is to provide protection or defense against the infectious agent or the invading agent, which can be the bacteria, virus, or parasite. So, how those infected cells they are just going to be protected by the cell mediated immunity in which there is cell to cell interaction और cell to cell communication occur. जब वो सेल की इन्फेक्टेड सेल की किसी इम्यून सेल के साथ इंटरेक्शन होगी तो that means that that infected cell would be killed or there would be the cytotoxicity of that cell would occur and the immune cell will serve as an effector cell because that cell is providing its effect on that infected cell. So the LAC cell that is also called as LAK cell. LAK stands for lymphokine activated killer cell. As the name suggests that these are killer cells. Killer cells means that those cells which has the ability to kill the infected or transformed or the malignant cells to kill, and that's why that killing process helps to provide the immune response. As these cells are activated under the action of certain cytokines which are called as lymphokines. So lymphokines ऐसे cytokines हैं जो particularly lymphocytes से produce होते हैं. So lymphocytes like helper T cells, like cytotoxic T cells, so those are the lymphocytes. So जो lymphocytes मीन cytokines lymphocytes से प्रोड्यूस हो रहे हैं और वो cytokines या lymphocyte किलर सेल्स को एक्टिवेट कर रहे हैं, डिफ्रेंशिएट कर रहे हैं, एंड आफ्टरवर्ड दोज किलर सेल्स आर कंसिडर्ड एज lymphocyte एक्टिवेटेड किलर सेल्स क्योंकि वो एक्टिवेट हो रहे हैं अंडर द एक्शन ऑफ lymphocyte. That's why that terminology is being used for such kind of cells, lymphokine activated killer cells. Now, before that, we have seen that there are certain variety of the killer cells which are called as natural killer cells. So the natural killer cells are normally present inside the blood. And these cells are the component of the innate or non-specific immune system. So natural killer cell has the ability to kill the infected cells or the transformed cells. So that's why these are called as naturally they have a tendency to cause the killing of infected or transformed cells by the cell mediated immunity. क्योंकि natural killer cells infected cells या transformed cell के साथ interact करेंगे, उनकी interaction होगी, cell mediation होगी, cell mediated immunity provide होगी, as a result जो infected cell है उसकी cytotoxicity और उसकी killing हो जाएगी. So we have seen that the natural killer cells normally they are present in pro form. Pro means that inactive, that means that are not activated form, or you can say that are naive form or virgin form. So those natural killer cells, whenever exposed to certain cytokines like interferon, here in this figure you can see that whenever these are exposed to IL-2 or interferon, and as a result of the interaction with the progenitor natural killer cells, they are going to differentiate into natural killer cells. Those are the mature form of the natural killer cells. So natural killer cells and the pro killer cells or natural killer cells, you can see that इनकी morphology में there is a change. जो natural killer cell progenitor cells हैं, उनके cytoplasm में there are absence of the granules. While whenever these natural killer progenitor cells are exposed to cytokines like interferon or IL-2, they are just going to transform or differentiate into mature natural killer cells. Or as a result, on the cytoplasm, those contains these granules. That's why they look like large lymphocytes. Or that's why these are called a large granular lymphocyte. क्योंकि इसके cytoplasm में now granules are present. That's why these are granular cells or large granular lymphocytes. Now, up to this stage, जब natural killer cells activate हो जाएगा, fully activate हो जाएगा, तो it will try to kill the malignant cells. Here you can see that those are going to be killed. But if those malignant cells are not going to killed by such kind of natural killer cells, so afterward there is continuous activation. Continuous activation का क्या मतलब है कि इन नेचुरल किलर सेल्स पे जो रिसेप्टर्स हैं फॉर इंटरफेरॉन अल्फा और IL-2, so those are going to occupy, those are going to activated, and continuous differentiation occur under the influence or the continuous exposure. So those cells, they are now going to transform into another form that is called as LAK cells or lymphokine activated killer cells. Now you can see that in this cell, the size is almost comparably, you can say that same like natural killer cells, but you can see that in the cytoplasm, the granules, the number of the granules, they has just increased. That's why it means that it is fully mature, or you can say that differentiated cell, which are more specific or more prone to kill those cells which are resistant to natural killer cells. कि मतलब ऐसे like this, ये जो malignant cells हैं जो कि natural killer cells से kill नहीं हो रहे, उनकी killing के लिए natural killer cells को differentiate होना है into lymphokine activated killer cells under the continuous exposure with interferon and IL-2. So that's why these are the lymphokine activated killer cells. Now, what happened that under the influence of these cytokines, black cell kills the transformed and the malignant cells. So ये जो cells हैं जो कि lymphocyte activated killer cells उसकी killing कर रहे हैं, वो malignant हैं, transformed हैं. Malignant cells का मतलब ऐसे cells हैं जो cancerous nature के हैं और they has the ability to provide, or you can say that to produce the cancer in a more exaggerated form, जो कि more severe form of कैंसर कॉज कर सकते हैं. दैट्स व्हाई दीज आर malignant cells. सो इन malignant cells की किलिंग के लिए lymphocyte activated killer cells की differentiation is necessary. Now the killing process is selective for sparing the normal cells. Means जो lymphocyte activated killer cells हैं वो सिर्फ नॉर्मल सेल्स को स्पेयर करेंगे और ओनली ये जो ट्रांसफॉर्म्ड और malignant cells हैं उनकी किलिंग करेंगे. दैट मीन्स दैट किलिंग प्रोसेस वुड बी सेलेक्टिव. मीन्स ये नॉर्मल सेल्स जो बॉडी के सेल्फ सेल्स हैं उनको किल नहीं करेंगे. दैट्स व्हाई दिस इज अ सेलेक्टिव प्रोसेस ऑफ किलिंग जस्ट लाइक द नेचुरल किलर सेल्स. सो देयर इज दिस सेल टू सेल इंटरेक्शन. मीन्स बिकॉज इट इज सेल मीडिएटेड इम्यूनिटी, इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ सेल मीडिएटेड इम्यूनिटी, तो इसके लिए ज़रूरी है कि सेल टू सेल इंटरेक्शन हो. सेल टू सेल इंटरेक्शन किस सेल का हो रहा है? ये यू कैन सी दैट जो लिम्फोकाइन एक्टिवेटेड किलर सेल है, दे आर जस्ट गोइंग टू इंटरेक्ट विद द ट्रांसफॉर्म और द malignant सेल्स. उनके दरमियान इंटरेक्शन हो रही है और उस इंटरेक्शन की वजह से दे आर जस्ट गोइंग टू किल. And as a result, you can say that the lymphokine activated killer cells, they are very, very potent cells in order to kill the tumorous or malignant cells. The killing process is a very potent process by the lymphokine activated killer cells because that process is being executed because जो tumor cells हैं, जो malignant cells हैं, उनकी surface पे the normal expression of class 1 MHC is not being there. So there is the lack of class 1 MHC. तो जो normal cells हैं, all the nucleated cells of the body, they are expressing the class 1 MHC. तो इसका मतलब है कि जब नॉर्मल सेल्स ट्रांसफॉर्म हो जाएंगे इनटू ट्यूमरस और malignant सेल्स में, तो उन पे सरफेस पे क्लास 1 MHC का एक्सप्रेशन डाउन हो जाएगा और देयर वुड बी दी एब्सेंस ऑफ क्लास 1 MHC. सो दिस एब्सेंस ऑफ क्लास 1 MHC इज एन अ ट्रिगर or is a message for the lymphokine activated killer cells that now this cell is not normal, it is a transform or malignant cell and you have just to kill such kind of cells. So that is why the lac cells are specific for the tumor cell. So this is the specificity that is being determined by lacking of the class 1 MHC. अदरवाइज अगर ये स्पेसिफिसिटी नहीं होगी तो लैक सेल्स दे विल किल ऑल्सो द नॉर्मल सेल्स, क्योंकि नॉर्मल सेल्स की सरफेस पे नॉर्मल एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ क्लास 1 MHC इज बीइंग देयर. So this is very specific kind of killing. So the lag cells are responding to those tumors which are resistant to the natural killer cells killing. तो इससे मतलब ये है कि नॉर्मली जो ट्यूमर सेल्स हैं फर्स्ट लाइन पे नेचुरल किलर सेल्स उनको किल करने की कोशिश करते हैं, क्योंकि नेचुरल किलर सेल्स जो हैं दे आर आल्सो गोइंग टू डिफरेंशिएटेड अंडर द इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ these cytokines like IL-2 and interferon. But whenever they are just going to differentiate into fully mature natural killer cells, they have just to kill the tumor cells. और अगर ट्यूमर सेल्स उन नेचुरल किलर सेल्स से किल नहीं हो रहे तो इसका मतलब है कि वो ट्यूमर सेल्स आर रेजिस्टेंट टू नेचुरल किलर सेल्स किलिंग. So that's why there is a need of another fully mature or activated form of cells that is called as lymphokine activated cells or killer cells. So that's why this kind of response or immune response is very, very specific against the tumors or the malignant cells. And nowadays, that is, there is trials are going on for treating the tumors or the malignancy using lymphokine activated killer cell therapy. That is a therapy by which the जो tumors हैं या malignant tumors हैं उनकी therapeutically उनको treat किया जा रहा है by giving the treatment using lymphokine activated killer cells, क्योंकि lymphokine activated killer cells they are more potent as compared to the natural killer cells, and due to this potency they also has the ability to kill all kind of malignant tumor cells because जो कि नेचुरल किलर सेल से रेजिस्टेंट हैं इवन. सो दिस काइंड ऑफ थेरेपी इज वेरी वेरी इन nowadays, or you can say that under trials, and for the therapeutic or the treatment of certain tumors which are in malignant state and they are not responding against the natural killer cell. So this is a very important kind of cell mediated immunity that is more specific or that is more potent in order to kill the tumor or malignant cells which has transformed from normal cells. So lymphokine activated killer cells are have very very potent role in providing cell mediated immunity against the malignant tumors.